them to get that done.
Arsenal aren't going to win all their games. You saw yesterday they weren't very good.
They will rebuild, Barry. They'll bring in new faces, and the future is still bright, although, say, this week has been disappointing.
It's the nature of a football fan, isn't it? You get the high, there's always a low just around the corner. I mean, it was sort of reminded me probably of 1988. That was a tough one to watch when we lost to Wimbledon. And yesterday we never got going. I mean, I think 2-1 flattered us, really did.
Yeah.
I mean, Newcastle were David winners. It was a tough drive home last night, but you got to take the hits, haven't you?
And Jack Draper cheered you up, as you said. So nice one. Cheers, Barry. All the best.
Great to speak. All the best. Bye.
Barry Cowles there, former British tennis player turned broadcaster. We're going to swap in a Newcastle next. Kai Humphries has recovered, I think, sufficiently. The chat was he's a comedian, Newcastle fan. He's not stayed in London.
Take me to Hollybush Lane, 74.
Plane probably didn't need any fuel on it, did it?
They should be grateful to Mike Ashley for selling to those people. Could have sold to the people that bought Chelsea.
Oh yeah, you could have done, quite possibly. And we're going to talk a bit about Old Firm Derby. Away fans, Rangers fans, 2,500 of them were in Celtic Park. So we'll chat to Stuart Weir about that.
It did make a difference there. I saw the highlights.
Yeah,
definitely helped.
It was quite weird. I'd forgotten until I was watching it, and the first Rangers go in and I heard the cheering.
Why are they all cheering?
Yeah, they're brave souls. But yeah, Barry Ferguson, what about, does that enhance his chances of getting the job full time? And would that be a good idea? Stuart Weir joins us for a chat about that. Before we hand over to Andy Goldstein and Darren Bentwood Drive at 4.
Hawksby and Jacobs on TalkSport with Tool Station. It's free to join the Tool Station Club and open to all. Shop, save and win with Tool Station. Terms and conditions apply.
Have a bet, take a punt, have a bet, 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 have a bet, take a punt, have a bet, 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 have a bet, take a punt, have a bet, 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 have a punt, have a bet, bet, bet. Enough! If you feel it's time to take a break from gambling, TalkSport Bet have the tools you need. Like time alerts to remind you how long you've been playing. Or self-exclusion. Make sure you're in control of your gambling, not the other way round. Find out more at safergambling.talksportbet.com.
That's it. We need a bigger car.
Smart speaker, what's the best family SUV?
The Tucson has been named Auto Express Best Midsize SUV. Oh, they're nice. Loads of space.
Smart speaker, search offers on a Hyundai Tucson.
The new Tucson comes with 2 years 0% APR. And it's Hyundai, by the way.
Discover the new Hyundai Tucson Hybrid. It's the dawn of a new Hyundai. Ends 31st of March, 25% deposit. Finance subject to status. Hyundai UK is a credit broker, not a lender. Terms apply.
PensionBee made it easier for Moira to feel in control of her retirement.
I feel happy with PensionBee. It makes me feel confident that I'm in control of what I'm doing. I originally transferred a small pension, which was just directly after I finished working. I really liked how well that was going, and so I decided to transfer the main pension to PensionBee as well.
At PensionBee, we believe that when your pension is in a good place, you're in a good place. Download the app or go to pensionbee.com and be pension confident. When investing, your capital is at risk.
With a Travis Perkins trade account, you open the door to big trade deals every single month. This month, we've gone big on landscaping. Right through March, get a 6x5 foot super lap fence panel for just £28, or a 6x6 foot panel for only £30. Join the club and get this and other big landscaping trade deals this March with your trade account. Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. All prices exclude VAT at 20%.
CEF. Ever wondered who we are? Well, we have over 400 branches across the UK and Ireland. We're online, in-app, and our CEF catalogue is your go-to for everything electrical. We have over 3,500 experts to help with any electrical queries, and we stock over 44,000 electrical products, from power tools and cables to renewables. So, if you didn't know who we are, you do now. CEF. Your electrical experts.
Get unbeatable coverage of the business side of the beautiful game with Simon Jordan and Tesco Mobile for Business on TalkSport. From Southampton to the North Stand, West Ham to Easter Road. Join the most well-connected man in football for an exclusive look inside the boardroom. This is a long way from London. Simon Jordan's business briefing on TalkSport with Tesco Mobile for Business. Small business or side hustle, get business phone bills for up to 40% less than
Midlands between the mid-1960s and mid-90s. James Harvey was one of his victims.
His impulses and emotions have driven everything he's done probably throughout the whole of his life and have left him looking like a shambling, despicable, evil human being.
Downing Street's announced that over 30 countries have pledged to support a peacekeeping force in Ukraine, provided a deal was reached to end the war with Russia. Number 10 stated that some countries might offer assistance in ways other than deploying troops. The Court of Appeal has ruled in favour of a £3 billion loan for Thames Water. It means the company has avoided being effectively owned by the government. And it'll be hotter than Ibiza and Corfu this Thursday if forecasters are correct. Temperatures could reach 19 degrees in the south of the UK, higher than the 17 predicted in parts of Europe.
Talk sport with Bostik. If you're looking for a professional grade sealant that offers technologically advanced performance, choose Bostik Pro Sealants.
What does Liverpool's defeat at Wembley mean for those players whose contracts are running down? And Rory McIlroy celebrates St Patrick's Day with a Players' Championship win. Ben's back at 4.
It's another far, far away day of fairy tale football action on Talk Sport. So let's take a look at today's magical lineup. In midfield, as expected, of course, it's Martin Odegaard. Fantasy football's great. And Eden Wizard. Nothing beats the real scene. Alongside Gundo Gandalf. He shall not pass. Well, let's hope he does. And finally, Erling Haaland. Talk Sport.
Star player joining our all-star lineup with Nissan Vans.
The all-star lineup on Talk Sport with Nissan Vans. Accelerate your business with Nissan's all-star van lineup. Find out more at nissan.co.uk.
And we're going to talk Newcastle now because joining us, I think he's got back home to the northeast after all the mayhem of yesterday. He's not stayed. I mean, I wonder if he's going to be a bit like the Scotland fans in Argentina. I've seen enough Newcastle fans walking over London Bridge today to suggest a few just may stay and never go back. Go and buy a house in Wembley. Kai Humphries, comedian and Newcastle fan, joins us. Hi, Kai.
Hello, gents. How are you doing?
Not so bad. You got out of Dodge then. You got on a plane and got yourself back.
I've had a belt that time. In fact, thanks for putting Dan Byrne in the all-star lineup there. Pride of Blythe right now. That's where I'm from, and there's so much civic pride. Wow, behind that lad, like I'm chuffed he's got his England call up. He was belter last night.
The only sad news for Blythe, we spoke to somebody at Spartans the other day. Their relegation was confirmed over the weekend, apparently, which is a great shame.
Just stop putting a dampener on me weekend, mate. I'm trying to have a good time, yeah.
So, I mean, are you a veteran of a few Newcastle finals? I know you've been overseas and watched them in the Champions League and stuff.
I went to Cardiff to watch them get pumped off Man United 4-1, where we had players suspended because they'd been fighting the week before. Dyer and Boya. I got sent off now. So I went to Cardiff because we were singing "Tell Me Ma, Me Ma" to put the shame on ice. The champagne on ice. We're going to Cardiff twice.
Yes.
Tell Me Ma, Me Ma. We only went once. I didn't make the last final because I was on my best mate's stag do in Vegas, and I'd organised it before we got through, so I couldn't really pull out of that one. And I ended up watching it in a bar with Americans who are the worst people to watch football with because they're just the wrong vibration, man. Come on, you Red Devils!
I agree with you 1,000,000% on that one.
Yeah. Did it feel different yesterday? Did you feel quite confident the Newcastle fans generally?
I don't know how it looked on telly, right? But our fans were mint. Like we won before kick-off. It felt like a home game. And I think Salah's a lot to thank for that, for putting a scarf on every seat. Like, it really just meant that, like, you know, I give a Geordie free stuff and have a good thing. But we got to swing the scarves, and like, I was a bit gutted that, like, I wasn't gutted because I'm pleased it felt like a home game, but I thought that was going to be a clash of two of the best fan bases in the country. And I thought the Liverpool fans would turn up in full voice, but they were like a Renaissance painting, they just weren't bothered.
I mean, I think it's a bit, you know, when sort of a support for a team that made the Carabao Cup final a lot, you know, it is the third competition, and they have been in the final 3 out of the last 4 years. They've won it twice in a row. For their fans, everything was the Champions League this year and the league. So I suppose it was a bit of an anticlimax, and Newcastle, like the team, the fans were really up for it.
And I like coming into a game like that as the underdog as well. Like, when the bookies expected Liverpool, we kind of, even though we have hope, we always have hope, we expected Liverpool to win, but then there started just being that glimmer when the lads started kicking the ball around and it was cohesive, and they knew where each other were, they knew their roles, and they were calm, like, you know, even just like Trippier heading the ball back to Nick Pope, like calmly under pressure. We started to just go, maybe we're in for a fight here, maybe we could do this, and there was hope from early in the game from us.
Yeah, it was a good time to play them, you know, that they'd come off this big game.
I wasn't sure how that was going to play out, you know. I thought they might bounce back and try and slap us about out of just in that PSG team. PSG were just so much, they were so good, they were overwhelming them, and I didn't think we had that to give. But we did.
Yeah. And so, did you? How long were you in London before the game? Did you spend a couple of days in Covent Garden?
I landed that morning. I had 2 shows up in Glasgow, and Saturday and Sunday, and I had to pull the Sunday one to go. So I done my Glasgow show on the Saturday, and then I flew down on Sunday morning. But I feel like I'm in a bit of a daze because I feel like I haven't slept because I've been restless because I've been so nervous about the final, and like the last couple of nights I haven't been sleeping very well. It's massive for us. You were saying about the Liverpool fans, it was all about the Champions League and they were going to win the league later on, like a month's time. That's massive for us, what happened yesterday. You know why it's massive? Not just because it's our first title in years. We've got these players that come to Newcastle to win things, and I'm talking Bruno Guimaraes and Sandro Tonali and Isak and Botman. And if we want to keep these players, we have to be decorated, and they've got a decoration now. They've got a medal around their neck. They've got the trophy, and you saw how happy they were. Did you see Bruno's interviews?
Yeah, I did. I was about to say that to you. That was fantastic. I mean, he's completely bought into the area. His kids have been born there. You could just tell he's incredibly committed to the club and the region, isn't he?
And now I feel like we're keeping them. I feel like we're keeping these boys, and we're going to be able to add to it. I think it was vitally important to go to the next level, to turn up last night, and they really did. And everyone's so happy, man.
Yeah, I think another go at the Champions League will convince them definitely to stay, and I think Newcastle will make the Champions League.
That's right. We've just been saying that you don't want it to be after the Lord Mayor show. You don't want to sort of have a drop off now because you've won a trophy. He's got a couple of weeks to get their heads right before you play again.
Oh, it was nice seeing Eddie Howe celebrating and having fun as well because he's so stoked. I was surprised he didn't just let the whistle blow and go and start thinking about the Brentford game. he got right into it.
Get the whiteboard out on the side of the pitch.
Even the little consolation of like that qualifies us for Europe. So like even if like the rest of the season's a disaster, we've still got holidays next year because that was when Man United won the FA Cup like against all the odds against Man City, and we got knocked out of Europe because we were sat in the spot for Europe. And then Man United winning that cup dropped out of it. I agree with the missed holidays.
Imagine what would it have been like doing comedy shows. There must have been people doing gigs in Newcastle last night. It would have been.
Sorry, in Newcastle. Sorry, I thought you meant in London before this.
Oh yeah, well no, probably
like what Ian Stone and Charlie Baker were doing at Cologne.
Yes.